The 2020 Dems are not giving up on this idea of taking away your Second Amendment rights. They say otherwise, but don't believe them. And MSNBC was more than happy to give the gun-grabbing liberals a whole town hall to spread their message. Joining me now to analyze some of the more wild claims is Cam Edwards. He's the editor of Bearing Arms. Cam, I want to start with their plan for confiscation.
In this country, mandatory buybacks are supported by a majority of Americans. Not only is it the right thing to do, not only will we save the lives of our fellow Americans, our fellow human beings, the American people are with us on this issue. The right away, the corporate gun lobby, the NRA fearmongers will say, oh, that means federal agents showing up people's houses. No, there are not people running out there seizing weapons. There are ways to do this.
No, the weapons are going to fly into the hands of federal authorities. Cam, just that line is hilarious by Cory Booker. Of course, was mayor of one of the more dangerous cities in the United States. What other ways of taking your guns are there?
I guess we're just supposed to hand them over politely. Right. And that's how you accomplish this goal. And this was one of the things that was a theme throughout the afternoon on MSNBC. Are these plans that just bear no resemblance to reality. Cory Booker should look at what's happened around the country over the last few years with magazine bans where people are supposed to turn their magazines in New York State, the non-compliance rate for people who were supposed to register their quote-unquote assault weapons or re-register their handguns at less than 10%. Laura, the fact of the matter is that there's no way to enforce these proposals, which is why Beto O'Rourke, Cory Booker, and other candidates simply, want to believe that Americans are going to comply with laws that would disarm them. And they're not going to do that.
It's a God-given right. I mean, it's a God-given right to be able to have that right to defend yourself and to bear arms. But they don't see it as that. And these are not reasonable restrictions. This is mandatory, quote, buyback. It's gun confiscation. All right, next up, we have Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren making some crazy promises. Watch.
We will change laws under my leadership, and it's not that I have a better 20-point plan. It's that I'm going to bring a fight to the NRA and the corporate gun lobby like they have never seen before.
Your plan calls for an 80% reduction in gun deaths, but you don't say over what period of time.
Over 8 years.
Oh, there we go. Both of these goals.
That's known as 2 terms for a president.
Cam, how could this be accomplished?
I've been wondering that myself because Elizabeth Warren says that she's not going to take guns away from any current legal gun owners. And yet, the foundational premise of gun control is that more guns equals more crime. So if Elizabeth Warren wants to reduce gun-related violence by 80%, what percentage of the guns that are currently in the hands of legal gun owners does she want to take away as well?
Now, Cam, I have a question. The per capita gun ownership is highest in what? States like Montana, Texas, right? Idaho. Where's the crime highest? In those states? Or
in those deep blue cities where not a lot of people are legally allowed to own guns. That's right.
Yeah, so they complain that they get guns from other jurisdictions, or they're stolen, or they're bought illegally from other states, brought across state lines. But we were in Chicago last weekend, and a lot of folks there were saying, look, I grew up and you could still have a gun in Chicago. It was a lot safer then. These are older Americans who are saying, this didn't make us any safer, these gun bans.
Well, Chicago had its gun ban in place from 1983 until 2010. And the homicide rate was actually higher than it is today. Washington, D.C. has seen its homicide rate decline after its handgun ban was lifted by the U.S. Supreme Court. In fact, we just saw the FBI release its uniform crime stats for 2018 earlier this week. Violent crime dropped by 4%. Homicide dropped by more than 6% compared to 2017. Yeah. And Laura, there were a lot of guns sold in 2017 and 2018.
Cam, lots of information. Thank you so much for joining us.